Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Seth Christenfeld. I'm the literary manager at the York Theater Company.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jerry McIntyre. I'm the associate artistic director.
And welcome to the newest installment of In the Pipeline. In the Pipeline is the York's newly named, but semi-new, streaming new work series. The York has a long and strong commitment to new work, and a lot of that is what Jerry and I work with in our departments. So while we have been unable to present any new work on stage, any readings, workshops, new musicals, etc., for the past 14 months, yikes, 14 months.
Oh my God.
We have started streaming conversations with writers who are in our orbit or who have come into our orbit, or who are just people we like, and we like them all. So tonight you'll be hearing songs and scenes from 2 shows by a total of 4 writers who you will meet shortly. Couple of things to note is that in addition to this, we've been doing a lot of streaming content over the past year. Most recently, we did a short I can speak, I promise. A short Sheldon Harnick festival in honor of the maestro's 96th birthday, 97th. He's old, but we love him. He's old and we love him. He is the greatest. And one of those, which was Charles Troy's talk on the history of Fiddler on the Roof, is no longer available. However, on our YouTube account, which is where you might be watching this now, and if you are, click like, click subscribe. We would love to have you follow us. You can see this past Monday's show and tell talk about our production of Rothschild and Sons from 2015, which was the world premiere of a new version of The Rothschilds. And if you have a Broadway on Demand account, or even if you don't, still streaming through May 14th. I can talk, I promise.
Seth, are you drinking?
Just tea. According to my mug, I'm a stud puffin.
How fascinating.
Yes. Through May 14th, you can still watch the taping of An Evening with Sheldon Harnick and Friends, which was, in fact, the very last thing we presented on the York stage before everything shut down. And that was an evening of songs and stories, is sort of hosted by and starring Sheldon, with a couple of people you might have heard of who have a little talent singing alongside him. Liz Calloway, Karen Ziemba, and the late, great Rebecca Luker in what was her final on-stage performance.
It's really fascinating, you guys. If you should watch it, and then you can get to see Sheldon Harnick's thing, If I Were a Rich Man. I mean,
yes,
amazing.
Which, granted, he will do at the drop of the hat. The man is a ham, and we love him. And he's a wonderful performer of his own work, and always has been. And this is a great opportunity to see a master, be masterful, along with a couple of really talented people. And there's a special guest appearance at near the end by his wife, the wonderful Marjorie Harnick. And that whole thing is MD'd and was put together by the great Jeffrey Saver. So on to tonight. Tonight, we're going to start this evening with meeting the writers of a show called The Moon and the Sea. That show has music and lyrics and was conceived by Creighton and has a book by Douglas Lyons. So, gentlemen, come on up.
Hello.
How are you tonight?
We're good. How are you, man?
Not bad. Where are you joining us from?
Doug?
I'm in Astoria, New York. The view is great of my wall. That's all I've seen all day because I have not been outside. There's that.
I'm down in North Carolina, here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. I got a little view of this. Anyways, I'm
got a nice view of 3 guitars.
Oh yeah, well, I'm not looking at you guys are.
Were you guys there? Were you there in North Carolina the whole time?
Man, it worked out really, really well for my wife and I and our little daughter, because we moved here in February. We got this place in February of 2020, and then about 3 weeks after we moved into the house, we moved in on Valentine's Day. Everything shut down.
Wow.
So we just been like out of our minds. Blessed.
Perfect excuse to do some decorating.
It's true. We just nested and then nested some more. But
excellent.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Tell us a bit about The Moon and the Sea. Creighton, I know you've been working on this show for a while, because a number of years ago, I heard a couple of songs from it at the NAMT Festival, where you were part of their songwriter showcase. And at that point, you were working on it on your own. And then at some point in the last, I think about 2 years ago, I think it was, Douglas came on to rewrite the book. So tell us a bit about the genesis of the project, and Douglas, about how you came on to the project, because I know you more as a composer and lyricist who has also written plays and sometimes writes book for your own shows. But this is the first time, I think, that I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, is this the first time you've written book for someone else's score?
For someone else's score, yes. This is my virginity. And of course, if anyone's gonna pop it, it's gonna be Creighton.
Excellent. So,
we have no fun, if you can
tell us a bit about the genesis of the show.
The first song I wrote for this show it was probably 2008. I think it was 2008 was the first, or something, a 7 or 8. Was in East Haddam, Connecticut at Goodspeed. And there was this, we were working with the Heart School. I was there for another project, Factory Girls, with a collaborator of mine, Sean Mahoney. And we were there working on that. And there was a work with the Heart School to do the performances. The senior Heart students were there as the performers. And there was this one guy, Doug, who was just awesome, but we didn't have everybody was fighting over Doug, so we're not going to get Doug in our show, So I said, well, Doug, we can't have you in our show, but I want to write you a song because, man, you can sing, and I love your energy, and I love everything about you. And we did. I wrote him this song, and him and Alithia sang it, and so that was Come Back Baby. And then I just sort of scrolled away and wrote the rest of this musical over the next few years. And I'm better at songs than I am at the book. Doug has the gift of being good at all of them.
Excellent.
And so then Doug circled back with me a couple years ago and just said, "Hey man, I'm still into The Moon and the Sea. Do you mind if I try my hand at the book?" And I said, "Please, gosh," because I have beat my head against the wall for long enough with it. And he's brought such a different freshness to the whole world of the show that I couldn't and wouldn't have done on my own. So it's been really wonderful.
That's awesome.
Terrific. So we're going to go ahead in a moment and play the first of the 2 excerpts you've recorded for us with some terrific performers. But would you give us sort of a quick précis of what the show is about? I know, but our viewers don't. And I'm sure, and Jerry knows, but our viewers don't.
Go ahead, Creighton. You talk. I like when Creighton talks.
Oh my God, Douglas is going to talk. Don't worry, I know you.
I will talk. I'm saving. I'm saving
while I can. So the whole idea for this show is that these 2 lovers, these 2, Charlie and Aaron, they experience a miracle when they're at the shore. The moon and the sea come together, and the whole world is lit up with this brilliant silver light. It's the most incredible thing either of them has ever witnessed. This is the sort of the pinnacle of their love with each other and for each other. And they're trying to make sense of this, and they sort of end up making sense of it in different ways. And I don't know, Doug, how much do we give away in this initial sharing? We haven't got anybody to detail yet.
So in the original concept, there was this event that happened, and it's something that has happened in like the actual world, where this specific angle of the moon hits the sea in a way that it feels like it lights up. It's actually been caught on camera. And so that event, which Creighton so like beautifully articulated musically, in the new version of the show, is something they witness very early on, when they're passionately in love. And then 4 years later, you find them maybe reunited in that same spot, but no longer together. But that doesn't mean their love is not still sort of ruminating. And so this first clip that I think you're going to see right now is early in their relationship at the top of the show. And the beauty of like working with Creighton too is I've come in and been like, hey, so that cut song, could that be the opener now? And so what you're seeing is actually never been workshopped in person. We sort of wrote it as an experiment to figure out what their love relationship would be early on in their relationship. So this is Corey Jacoma and Brittany Simpson playing Aaron and Charlie in the opener of The Moon and the Sea.
Great.
Baby, I don't know what I would do if there was a me without a you. Baby, I don't know who I would be if there was a you without a me. Wanna travel the world with you day and night, in waves of music and waves of light. And I don't know where we will go. Wanna get down on my knee and say, oh, won't you go with me? Wanna get on my knee. Won't you go with me? Down in the sand, down on the beach, none of the love seems out of reach. And I can feel you feeling me, the way the moonlight fills the sea. Reaching inside, I will find a way to say all the things that I want to say. Until then, though, all I can do is to get down on my knee and say, ooh, won't you go with me? Wanna get on my knee. Won't you go with me? Let me take you for a ride. Let me make you my bride. And oh, let the silver waves wash over you and me.
It's on. Almost ready. What was that you're singing?
Nothing. Yeah, just messing around.
From the bathroom, it sounded like much more than just messing around. I liked it. Is it new?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe it's new, or maybe you're being weird right now.
Maybe you need to put your sandals on so we can go.
Sandals? I don't know. I did not get a pedicure to end this trip in a flat. It's our last night at the shore. I want to look cute.
Well, you don't need heels for that.
Are you trying to get laid right now?
No. Maybe later though. But no, I did find this awesome cove right off the main beach that I want to take you to. And our shoes are coming off as soon as we get there, so I don't think you need your heels.
Really?
Mhm.
Fine. This cove better be worth it.
It is. I promise.
Why the beach? You didn't want to spend another round at that god-awful open mic downstairs?
I'd rather jump off a balcony.
I'd join you. Not one person could hold pitch.
At all. They couldn't hold it, chase it, or find it.
Yeah, you know, that one bartender did like our song, so I forgive her performance.
Huh. I don't.
All right. I'm ready. Off we go to your secret cove. Should we bring the guitar, actually? Maybe write something new?
No, not tonight. Just you and me.
Okay. Just you and me. The moon and the sea.
He said the title of the show.
Ooh, what's gonna happen next? Ooh, what's gonna happen next?
I love that they say the title of the show in the show.
It's my favorite part, and I love when just to look at the camera like that's the title. I love it. Oh my god! I'm like, too bad they're not charismatic. Those two. Dear God.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's hot, right? It's hot in that Zoom box. Just looking at them talk to each other. Being,
Right.
oh, I had
Yep.
to cover myself. Ooh.
Don't know what's going on under that hat of yours.
Oh my God.
So earlier when we were doing a tech run, you were telling us a bit about sort of the development path of the show and how in a different world, right? It would have been on stage last summer, I think. So tell us a bit about it, how it has progressed, and you have a terrific director on hand, Josh Prince.
Nope,
So tell us.
not
I'm sorry,
Josh
Josh
Prince.
Rhodes.
Love
Josh
Josh
Rhodes?
Prince. It ain't him. No, Josh Rhodes.
Josh Rhodes. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry. I get them confused all the time.
I don't. It's Josh Rhodes.
Yeah, did
Yes,
you work?
Josh Rhodes.
You work with Josh
My
Prince,
apologies.
right?
So please tell Josh Rhodes, as in the Colossus of.
There you go. There you go.
Yes.
Um,
So now tell us a bit about the development path of the show.
well, there's a funny story here too. I don't know if Creighton, if you know this story, but we about to see. So we were doing Bo the musical. Yes, everyone, look that one up too. We were at the Adirondack Theater Festival doing Bo in 2019. And the then artistic director, Chad Rabinowitz, and I were driving to a press thing. And originally, before we got the slot for Bo, he was like, it's between you and another show. Do you know this? Do you know this story, Creighton?
Yeah, you know what? Last time we did one of these things, you told this story.
No. So I asked by Creighton, love you so much. She's gonna grab it down.
Well,
So I said to Chad, I said, what's the other show? He was like, you can't tell anybody. And he said, do you know Creighton Irons? I said, I love Creighton Irons because I had met Creighton a decade ago at Goodspeed. He was like, it was between the moon and the sea and Bo. And I went, oh, wait. I gotta look at the script. I want to look at the script. I want to see, right? And so in a very careful way, I wanted to make sure I respected Creighton's original concept, and I didn't want to disrespect or step on his toes, but I have so much respect for his music. Like, if you don't know the music of Creighton Irons, get into it. And I was like, I want to be a part of this world. And so we like went back and forth and figured out a new world of the show. And so I worked on a draft at the end of 2019 that got us into the Flint Rep New Musical Festival. So we flew to Flint actually a year ago, and we were there in January, right before the pandemic hit. And it was so
because
fabulous.
everyone wants to develop a musical in Michigan in January.
It was incredible though. The cast was incredible. We were just going to do the first act. We ended up doing the entire show. We learned so much. And then we had a planned production at ATF that was supposed to start the season last June, and then the panorama hit. And so, yeah. But
yeah, I mean, that Flint workshop ended up being so important. I mean, we didn't realize that was going to be it. We were up against the clock with the pandemic.
Yeah. So we're really happy when the York called and said y'all wanted to do this, because we got robbed of our production, and it's like a question mark. But now we have an answer. Okay, it's tonight.
I love it.
Well, we're really glad to bring you on. I was excited when Jerry. He said, "Oh yeah, they're doing it's the moon and the sea." Because I first heard, I think I mentioned earlier, I first heard a couple of songs from this at NAMP a number of years ago and really dug them. So now that we've heard that amusing and sad and happy story, a little bit of everything, we're gonna go ahead and play the other clip that you brought. And if you would mind setting this up a bit, also.
Do you want me to do it? I
forgot which one. Oh, this is I don't
Oh.
11. Okay, you set it. You set this one up.
I'll set it up. So I brought in a new character. I brought in a new character and sort of concept with the show because I know producibility wise, the smaller the cast, the more it's going to be done. And so I was like, how do we take this and make it 6 people? So the Moon and the Sea, who would have sang right after the clip you just saw when they go to the beach, you hear the Moon and the Sea, they're actual characters in the show. They double as all these other characters in the play. And I created this character, Deborah, which is a very overzealous and loving Jewish mother that Alexa Green plays. And then Elijah, who was already there in Creighton's original concept, is played by Jeremy Savelovitz. And so this is now 4 years later after Aaron and Charlie are no longer together.
Oh.
Yeah, so and just in terms of the development stuff, real quick though, Deborah was the first big curveball of like like first big fork in the road of where we're okay. This is a different show. This is a brand new show, and it's in all the best ways. It's a lot lighter and sort of fluffier and more grounded somehow. It feels just more it's more human. And allows the music to live in this sort of epic place that the script was also sort of kind of trying to live and never really found its footing. So Doug's script really brings it home now. And Deborah is a prime example of that.
New voice message, Tuesday, July 30th, 6:40 p.m.
Charlie, it's your mother, Deborah. Why aren't you picking up the phone, huh? It's my 3rd voicemail today. If you're ignoring me, that's not very nice, Charlie. I raised you better than that. Look, honey, I know today's the anniversary, but I don't want you sulking in that apartment for the 4th year in a row, okay? You get off that couch, wash your nuts, and take a walk or something. I know you don't shower when you get sad. God forbid. Maybe you even call your mother back.
My God.
Let's don't be alone today, okay? Head up. It's like I always say, your special lady's out there. She's just hiding in the bushes. Oh, and one last thing before I go.
I thought my voicemail was full.
Honey, maybe pick up your guitar today. When's the last time you even touched it, eh? Think of all the lessons I paid for. I still remember that Led Zeppelin solo you did at your bar mitzvah. I birthed a natural born star. You're a damn good musician. And I'm not just saying that because I'm your mother. Though I am your mother. You don't need Erin to write music. Don't let her steal that from you, honey. All right. I said enough.
Yes, you have.
But call me back, or I will call again.
Yes, you will.
There's only one Deborah, and she loves you very much. Talk soon, honey. Bye now.
End of new voice messages.
Thank you, God.
Yo, 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 yo! What's going on up in here? A funeral?
Maybe.
Turn on a damn light, man.
Must you enter every room at the top of your lungs?
I can't help my natural presence. It was gifted to me. Plus, it's party time, bro.
Elijah, it's Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
And we both have work in the morning.
But tonight, we can let our balls hang low. Booyah! Now, all right, one bottle's for you, the other's for me. Look, bro, I know what today is, and you are not going to sit on that couch all night like last year.
Did my mother put you up to this?
Deborah is a very nice woman.
Of course she did.
Look, when your mother calls, I answer.
I don't.
Bro, she just wants you to be happy. And so do I. All right, now move over. All right. Cheers. Now we get shit-faced.
Let's not. You know that I've been cutting back on booze, dude.
Oh, come on, bro. It's just one night.
I don't need a fucking pity party, Elijah.
Dude, I was just...
My mother's called me like 8 times today. And here you come in trying to numb me up. Like,
Bro.
yes, I'm aware. 4 years ago today, I proposed and Erin said no.
Charlie.
Okay? But I don't need everybody in my life reminding me. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm fine.
Charlie, when I walked into the apartment, you were sitting in the dark eating a life-size bowl of Fruity Pebbles. That's not fine. And look, you know I only nag you because I care. All right, you can deflect all you want, but you are not over Erin.
Don't lecture me.
Look, you're a shell of yourself, man. You go to work, you come home, you sit on the couch until your next shift. You don't even try to date. I mean, how the hell are you supposed to move on?
Elijah.
You got to put yourself out there, Charlie.
Back off, man, okay? Just back off. Leave me alone.
Yeah, you got it.
I don't do love anymore. I don't even open the door when it rings. I say I'm not home. I don't even date anymore. Don't shop at that specialty store for my needs. When I want to be held, I handle it alone. And I don't even mind, cause I don't get muddy. I'm keeping it clear and I'm keeping it clean. Just watching the screen, I'm my own best buddy, if you know what I mean. See, I got a lazy boy chair, and I know exactly where the remote is every time I put up my feet. I never get cold in the night. My covers are always pulled tight around me, and I never get heat for leaving up the seat. Living inside, well, you don't get muddy. Away from the sky, you can never get wet. The people who cry when everything gets cruddy deserve what they get. So I leave it to you to go brave the hurricane. Leave it to you to get outside. I leave it to you to meet the waves on the shore. I leave it to you to carry that ball and chain. Leave it to you to sell your pride. I leave it to you, cause I don't do love anymore. They say that to love and to lose is better than never abusing yourself with the weight of someone else's heart. But me, I know better than that. I know that you never get over that ache that pull those scars. So why would I go for a no good lover? Why get myself hot when I'm gonna turn blue? I'm out of the rain and I'm undercover. So I leave it to you to go brave that hurricane. Leave it to you to get outside. I leave it to you to meet the waves on the shore. I leave it to you to deal with that certain pain. Leave it to you to open wide. I leave it to you, cause I don't do love anymore. No, I don't do love anymore.
That's true. If there's one thing about a musical, it's that a character who says they don't do love anymore really does do love still at some point.
Ooh, and that bass, man, that bass was fat. I love that.
Oh, thanks, Ben.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was terrific. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for joining us tonight. I look forward to seeing what comes next for the show. Perhaps we'll be part of it. Perhaps not. I don't know. I don't know anything. So
I'm going to hold you to that. I'm going to.
okay.
Yeah.
I promise you can absolutely hold me to not knowing anything.
Douglas, I want to ask you a question. Liz Larson says you have something coming up soon.
Oh God, what does she know? What
I
she knows
don't
something I don't know. I'm doing a couple things. A new play, Invisible, that's getting a reading on the 29th with Queen's Theater and a wonderful cast from New York City. Musicals in development. Worked on Fraggle Rock as a TV writer last season. Yeah, do I know? I don't even know what I have. Does she tell Liz to make an announcement for me? Maybe
she's your press agent, as it turns out. I didn't know that.
I love her.
Oh my God, I love you guys so much. Thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad we got to meet each other.
Yes, Creighton. Do you have anything coming up that you can or want to tell us about?
On my end?
On your end?
Well, I got a few. I took this job teaching children, Seth. So I have this huge big bash coming up on June 3rd, but that's a whole different ball game. But we have one thing in the cooker with Factory Girls that is still in the cooker for going back to Japan, which is going to be a thrill for me, less for those of us here stateside, where nobody even knows that it's happening halfway around the world. It's been a joy. And then I got a little sort of spaceship musical around here in North Carolina as well. But
excellent.
But The Moon and the Sea is my heart and my soul. And
fantastic.
Make it happen right now, man.
And people can find you at CreightonIrons.com. People can find Doug at DouglasLyons.net, on Twitter at Douglas Sings, and on Instagram at Chocolate Hipster.
Yes, you can.
I love
Chocolate Hipster.
I love Steph saying it. Steph, say that again, Chocolate Hipster. I like what you said.
Chocolate Hipster.
Yeah, man.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, but I will plug my wife's show if I can.
Excellent. Please do. Your wife is an excellent songwriter as well.
You go on and go get Row, R-O-W. It's a musical about a woman who rowed across the Atlantic Ocean. And that's a real woman. She really did it. Tori Murder McClure from Kentucky, where my wife's from, where Don Landis. And Row it's a full musical experience on Audible, which is the first musical they put on there. And that
was supposed to be at Williamstown this past summer.
Actually, it will be again.
And it will be again, yes.
Yeah.
And they're doing it. Are they doing it outside next year? Is that the plan?
Outside, yeah, like over a reflecting pool. It's gonna
nice.
Grace McLean. It's like a head in the front. It's gonna be amazing.
Awesome.
Well, again, thank you so much for joining us tonight, gentlemen. Hope to see much more of you in the future. Hope to see you in person at some point.
Maybe not, Seth.
Who knows?
Maybe not.
maybe not. I don't know anything. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right, Seth. Thank you, Jerry.
You're welcome, my friend. Take care.
So before we move on to the next part, let's just remind everyone to please give generously if you can. And you can text York to 44321. We are a nonprofit theater in all senses of the word. So we run heavily on your donations and your support. This series is supported by generous gifts from Joan Ross Sorkin and the Virginia Strelson Foundation. We love both of them.
Yes,
we do. We will love you if you give us money. We might love you anyway, even if you don't give us money, but we will definitely love you if you do give us money. And again, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll get to find out when we put new stuff up. If you watch this on Facebook, like and the page, and then go like and subscribe to the YouTube account. I'm doing all the talking, Jerry. Please say something.
No. I was just like you're doing all the work, but you know exactly what to say. I'm good. But we have a lot. We have things coming up. I have a new series coming up called Unsung, which I think it's Monday, but you'll find out on the YouTube channel. It's called Unsung, and I have a conversation with Michael R. Jackson,
that fantastic Pulitzer
Prize winner from
composer, lyricist, and Neo 2015 alum.
Yes, from The Strange Loop. It's a really good and it's really fun interview. You know, there. I mean, I have to say,
I look forward to watching it. Michael's a really good guy, and he is a great interview. He gives great interview.
He does, and I actually cried at the end, which I'm, you know, Seth, and I'm such a sap, but you know, I don't usually do it on Zoom. Cry, that is.
But he'll do it, Jim.
Yeah.
So for the second half of the evening, we're going to be showcasing material from A Cordial Invitation, which has book and lyrics by A.J. Freeman and music by Dimitri Landrain. And we're going to actually start off with the first song, and then we'll chat with them a bit. And this is, I believe, the opening number of the show, so shouldn't require too much setup. And if it does, you'll get the setup at the end.
That's charming, isn't it amusing?
No, I never did.
I guess she's refusing. Must have been Madrid. What a lovely thought. What a lovely, oh well, so do tell. Yes, no. Still I say,
Weren't they?
you, ha,
And then he brought her to the zoo.
that's horrid.
She's only
Could he ever were you at the party? Wouldn't be better,
you
isn't this
the
cheers?
kiss. Blah, 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 blah.
Brawley. Blah 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 Gardner gun. Blah 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 church bell.
Blah, blah,
Blah 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 blah. Ha 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 ha.
Him.
If he'd call after all,
You.
ha. And then she'd ask him what to do. That's baseless. Oh, how we laughed.
No, she's daft.
I wonder if he's single. What a lovely,
What a lovely,
what a lovely, what a lovely host. Agreed. Toast, indeed. Isn't this could
Didn't
be would
you
pass? Yes,
of course.
What a lovely, oh, what a lovely home is starring.
Here's to new friends.
Cheers to new friends. I wonder if he's renting. Here's to reinventing.
Such a splendid.
How I love her, isn't it so? Got another. What a lovely evening for a party.
Oh no, my lady, I'm so terribly sorry.
Wow.
Welcome to the stage, AJ Freeman and Dimitri Landrain. Hello. How are you tonight?
Great.
Very good. And you?
Hey, where are you calling in from?
After you, Alison.
I am in Southern California right now for a little while, but I was in New York for most of the pandemic period, but just needed to kind of see some trees. So I'm in California for a little while, but hoping to be back soon.
And I am in New York. I live in Washington Heights, so you might hear some salsa here from my Dominican neighbor. But yeah, it's
Very nice. Yeah,
very nice today, so that's great.
I am streaming live from my parents' house in the lawless wilds of Westchester County. So if you hear wolves, so you might hear some wolves circling.
Wolves.
Well, that's the joke I've said every time.
Okay.
The lawless wilds of Westchester County. Listen for the wolves.
Oh
So
my God.
tell us a bit about the show. Are you trying to say something, Jerry? Can I keep interrupting you by accident?
Yeah, that's all good. It's like you guys have first, so it's like a singer's nightmare. It's so fantastic. But you know, that thing is like, oh God, how long is this music rehearsal going to be? Like 7 days? It's so good. It's so
Well,
intricate.
Jerry, putting it together over the pandemic and everybody sending in their own music clips, and I mean that was an interesting experiment. Poor Dimitri, but the singers were great, thank goodness. But yeah,
so beautiful, you guys, so gorgeous.
Yeah,
So tell us a
actually am
bit
looking-
about.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask you to tell us a bit about the show and how you got started on it and how you met. I know you met at BMI, but tell us a bit more if there is more to be told.
Go for it, Dimitri.
Oh, well, okay. So we did, a couple of years ago now, we met at BMI, and we did actually got famous blend song,
Hold on, you're going in and out.
Yeah, I'm losing
You're
him.
cutting a little bit. I'll take over for just a moment because you're frozen. Sorry, Dimitri. I'll interpret, and it wasn't because of his accent even. It was just the computer. But we were paired up for the second assignment of BMI, the Lehman Engel program, which is the famed Blanche Dubois assignment, and we survived that. So we figured, okay, we can handle writing together. And then after that, we wrote a children's musical together that was supposed to have some performances that got canceled. We were looking at a run at the Lincoln Center Library, Performing Arts Library. Hopefully that'll happen again at some point. But Tulane University is using our kids show in their outreach program. So it's even remotely, it's getting a little, circulation. And so then we were like, let's tackle something for grownups. So that's when we turned our attention to this project, and I'm hoping Dimitri gets back on soon because he has a great story. It was he's the one who found it. A friend recommended this to him.
Sure. So we'll play the second song, and hopefully by the time that's over, he'll be back on and not freezing. So we're gonna go ahead and play the next song.
Okay.
Who remembers now? Who remembers details?
Was there something blue or white?
Quite.
Did we share a room?
Such a tiny room.
What a blurry parade. Funny how the memories fade.
Wasn't there a time when Mother brought us to the sea?
When she fed us cakes and let us wear our hair free.
All the things that Father wouldn't allow. That was while he was in France,
in Gibraltar,
Spain,
Sweden,
Peru.
Who remembers now?
Did we have a dog?
Yes, a little dog.
Sweet and sort of brown.
Black. Every night we'd sneak a snack to Jack. You would play the queen.
Yes, that's right, the queen.
I was always the maid.
Oh, the lovely games we played.
Sharing every summer's day. Laughing every care away.
Clinging closer as the world began to turn grey.
Swearing our eternal bond with a vow.
Spending every day with you.
Smiling and laughing.
Oh,
like a dream. Day slips into year. Just a blink and we're here. Who remembers how?
Lovely. That's lovely.
So we can jump in. Both of those songs probably make no sense because we've given you no context.
I realize. Yeah, we never actually talked about the show. And
Sorry. So we'll do it quickly though to catch you up. So basically, this show is based on a play by J.M. Barrie that was written in 1917, and the play was called Dear Brutus. And so it's about a dinner party. In our version, it takes place at a flat in London across from Kensington Gardens. And so all these strangers are invited to this dinner party with a very sort of eccentric host. And it's really focusing on the relationship between these guests and sort of, it's the same themes in so many J.M. Barrie shows, which is sort of childhood versus adulthood. And it's these adults stuck in childish patterns and needing a jolt, a shock to sort of wake up and grow up and finally sort of accept responsibility. So that first song is part of our opening number, and you see the dinner party in action. And again, it's these stuffy adult tropes at a dinner party, but it's kind of, they're playing a musical chairs sort of, it's still adults behaving like children, sort of play acting. And then that song you just saw was a pair of sisters who are guests at the dinner party who have grown estranged, and it's them trying to kind of figure out what went wrong and where the disconnect happened. And so this is all Act 1 stuff we're sharing with you. Spoilers, Act 2, things get crazy. So we're kind of setting up the issues that these guests have. And then the host works his magic. And in Act 2, they are confronted with all of that. So, Dimitri.
I'm following on. I'm so sorry. The magic of a live performance.
Yes, this is live theater, ladies and gentlemen. At least the phone hasn't rung here. So now you get to tell us the fun story of how you found the play.
Oh, wow. Okay, I am going to keep it short because it's a long story. 2-3 years ago, I was just finishing to write a complete original musical, and I was like, gee, I wish I was doing an adaptation next. So then came the next hurdle. When you do adaptation, either you go for a project where you have to get the right, and that's a nightmare, or you find the rare magic one that is in public domain. So I did some research, and I asked a friend of mine in France, an English friend of mine that lives in France and that has pretty much read all the books ever written. And I told her, do you have an idea? And then the story became complicated, so I will shorten it there. She knew a friend of a friend of a friend that happened to be an English actor named Terence Byler. And Terence was really famous during the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and did a lot of movie and theater in England. He worked with the Monty Python on Life on This Is Brian, and he's the first one actually that had the idea. He told my friend that Dear Brutus would be a great musical, and they passed me this idea, and I read the play for J.M. Barrie, Dear Brutus, and so that sounded like a great idea. I can see a musical in there. Then I reached out to Elisa and had her read the play, and we were on board.
Wow, that's fantastic.
I know it's a long story, and I wish actually you Google the Terence Byler. That guy had a crazy career, but it was interesting to have that lineage, for someone that worked on the West End and was really enamored with the work of J.M. Barrie, and I did fell in love with the play right away as well. I don't know, because I couldn't hear you. I don't know how much Alison talked about the play, but
not much.
But okay.
Just the quick synopsis.
Yeah.
Let me leave it to Alison to talk more about that then.
Well, everything he just said, when we read it, it was so appealing because J.M. Barrie himself, as kind of a byline, described it as Peter Pan for grown-ups. So it is kind of the opposite of Peter Pan, whereas in Peter Pan isn't the story of Peter Pan, it's the story of Wendy and her being pulled by someone who thinks that he's doing good in this very non-conventional way of like, no, have this lifestyle, and her having to come to terms with, is this what I want? Same thing with these guests being pulled and in this very kind of, aggressive way, being told, no, this is how you should live. And so it's just kind of interesting to connect with these characters of different classes and backgrounds and how they're kind of thrown together in the same situation of like, no matter who you are, you're confronted with this. You got to grow up sometime. So yeah, it's universal, I think.
I think so too. When I read it, I had to read it twice because it's like when you read something, you're like, you think you know what's going on. And I was like, wait a minute. I don't know what's going on. I have to go back, and read it again. But which is great because I've never really seen a musical like this on stage. Which is fascinating to me, because I've seen a lot of musicals.
But you're so young. How? But I think it is so visual too. I think it's really dry on the page, but like we said, when they're kind of the adults acting like kids, or the sisters sort of reverting back to childhood behaviors and that kind of thing. Hopefully that'll help with the storytelling as well. So yeah, we're having a lot of fun with it and connecting with we've all got issues like this where we don't want to face our patterns and our destructive behaviors. So yeah.
Indeed.
Okay, so,
I
think that
we can move along, right? Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, that gives us a great segue into the third song. So please set that one up for us.
Just very quickly, this is another guest at the dinner party, and her husband is also a guest. This is Mr. and Mrs. Code is their name. They call each other Cody. And she is trying to defensively explain her relationship with her husband. Of no, it's not what you think. He was married before me, and I'm just trying to sort of maintain her legacy because her husband is sort of caught up in books and learning and sort of absent-minded professor kind of a guy. And she's like, no, he just likes things a certain way, but it's healthy. It's totally healthy. So that's what this song is.
Excellent.
I know I have all of his heart, if perhaps not all of his head. I can never seem to find the right words. Well, he brings to me each morn coffee to drink at dawn. Coffee, but I like tea. Still, it was made for me. He tries, often like it's a play. He'll read aloud all day, books about great machines. Don't know quite what it means. He tries, when one's head is filled with learned facts. Surely it affects the way one acts. He remembers only things of worth, not silly birthdays. Picture it every night, brandy by candlelight. Trouble is, I don't drink. She used to drink, I think. He tries. No, you mustn't think that I'm a fool. He is not forgetful to be cruel. There's another lifetime in his head. Another life, another one. He likes the way things were, so I behave like her. That is the way we live. I take what he can give. He tries, I swear to you, he's trying. He's trying. It's also very trying.
Just beautiful. Wow. Who's that singer?
That is huge shout out, as they say. That's Erica Amato. I just did a reading of another adaptation that I'm doing of a Noel Coward play, and she played the lead in that and was so spectacular. So she can be hilarious as well as heartbreaking. So Erica Amato, everybody.
She's gorgeous. That's fantastic.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
So have you had the? I mean, I first heard a couple songs of this at the Duplex. I don't know, a year or more than a year ago, obviously, but let me as part of the indispensable In the Works series created by Thomas Harnick and Lisa Moss, and I miss it desperately and can't wait for it to come back. We've both presented work there, and yeah. So has the piece had any sort of reading so far, or is it still waiting to have that first time on its feet?
Well, so actually, we did give a try at doing a Zoom reading, and that's so difficult because then you need to have all the song pre-recorded. So basically, we just did a Zoom reading of like a dry reading without song, actors reading the lyrics of the song. So it's always rough when you write a musical and there's no music. But
yeah,
it's not easy. It's not easy to do a reading of a musical with no music.
So yeah, Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and so actually, in a way, timing wise, the pandemic didn't affect us as much as it would have affected other people because we're still like in the middle of writing and rewriting. So, but yeah, we just had a reading. Go ahead, Alison.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, we haven't had an in-person. We did an in-person reading at NYU in February of 2020. So it's a theme that keeps popping up, but we haven't seen it in a room since then. And yeah, we're kind of at the rewrite stage, but there's only so much you can guess at really and frankly, the songs we're sharing with you tonight are already sort of out of date because we're continually rewriting them and changing them. So yeah, we can't wait until we can be in a room together. Yeah.
Musicals are never finished. They're just abandoned.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
So before we play the last song and let you go, anything you folks are working on, or any other stuff that you folks are working on that you'd like to tell our audience about? Anything?
Go for it, Dimitri. This is our main focus right now because it's so close, and we just want to kind of get it as close as we can so that when we are able to do a reading or a workshop, it's a lot smoother and cleaner. And the vision for the project has changed a lot in the last 2 years since we started. And so 2 years, right? So yeah, we're excited to finally see it all come together and work hard to get to that point. So yeah, this is our focus right now.
Excellent.
That's amazing. Great.
And I mean,
people can find
as for me, I like many people in theater, I'm a writer, so perform, but that side of the performer is more, I love playing jazz and I'm a jazz pianist, so I'm kind of doing two completely different things, and it is pretty schizophrenic at times, but I like to think that the writing helped my playing and the improvisation helps the writing. So I'm going to start working on on a jazz trio album, and on which is a completely different work.
And I think you do have one album that's already out and available wherever music is streamed and sold.
Dimitri,
indeed.
Where are you
playing?
Are you playing anywhere in the city that I can come see you play?
Well, since everything was closed, I stopped, but most of the time it's gigging and it can be anywhere. But I'll let you know. I know I need to work on my website and where it's the next thing that I'll play at. But I mean, a little club, like start to reopen the city. So, but I definitely will let you know.
Oh, fantastic! Because I can go up in the Heights. I've been up there before. I know how to get there.
But he plays all over. He's great. Yeah.
And Allison, you play in your car.
Anywhere I can, I play. Yes. Exactly.
Yes. You've been recording for like a year and a half now a daily song on ukulele.
Oh,
song from the
just trying
from the Great American Songbook.
Yep, staying busy, and it's an excuse to just get something creative done every day. So yeah, I'm having fun with that.
Yes. And now you're also taking videos of you walking your cat, which is adorable.
I mean, she's going to take over. Frankly, it's all about her. So yes, as I said,
It's all about
in our sound check, I locked her away so she wouldn't steal the show tonight, but because she would try.
Well, we love Custer anyway, even if she will cause all of our dooms. So I'm going to ask you to introduce the final song, and we'll play that, and we'll let you go.
Yes, this is actually I really like this song because it's the first song we ever wrote for that project, and that so it was my first instinct musically for the project, and I will let Alison tell more about it.
Yeah, again, this version is now slightly obsolete because it's had a bit of a rewrite, but that's okay because when you see the next iteration, you can compare and let us know. So this is another married couple, set of guests, and Will and Alice Dearth. The names are so Dickensian, Dearth. So Will is sort of a failed painter. He's missing something in his life, you'll hear about in the song, and has just sort of turned to drink, and his wife blames him for all of their problems, and it's not a healthy relationship at all. So you'll kind of see some of their dynamic, but then during the song itself, they're staring at a painting that was placed there at the beginning of the show by the host, very specifically. So yes, this is our final song for you tonight. Thanks so much, both of you, for having us.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. It was just so good. Really great.
Thank you for having us.
I had to get away from that dreadful party for a moment. Why must every social gathering devolve into games?
It is probably my fault somehow. It always seems to be my fault, somehow. Don't worry, I was just going.
You mustn't leave on my account.
Not at all. I have an engagement.
An engagement with the port decanter, I presume.
A good guess, but wrong. The decanter is now but an empty shell. Still, how you know me? My engagement is with a quiet cigar in the garden.
Your hand is so unsteady you won't be able to light the match.
I shall just manage.
A nice hand for an artist.
One would scarcely call me an artist nowadays.
Not so far as any art is concerned.
Not so far as having any more pretty dreams to paint is concerned. I was just looking at this job before you came in.
Not bad. Looks like it could have been one of yours. It is childishly sentimental enough. I'd call it King and Queen in Search of a Kingdom.
They have a kingdom. It is off in the distance. There. See? It's rather like a piece I'd paint.
Mawkish and quaint.
A little fairy tale. The very setting that I choose.
The royal muse.
A perfect fairy tale.
Quite the dreary, safe domestic scene.
Our king and queen.
They look so
happy.
Sappy. Shall we go in?
She has your grin.
She looks aware that she's inside.
The strokes are wide.
Inside her fairy tale. It's rather sad she cannot speak.
That's good technique.
Trapped in a fairy tale.
Light and pale.
Maybe it's the way that she's drawn, sadly forlorn, forever waiting.
Waiting for an heir.
Waiting. But who needs that?
Is that our cat? Wonder if they dream. Wonder if they dare. Wonder if it's best staying unaware.
Maybe if they'd try to be more kind.
Or if they
did try.
up and bought the cat.
So we agree they're clearly stuck.
It's beastly luck.
Stuck in a fairy tale, imprisoned in a gilded frame.
Who can they blame?
A fading fairy
They
tale.
can still prevail.
Paint can't tell the painter what to
Do you think
do.
that they could change the view? Could they? Would they?
What would it prove?
Did they just move?
Wow.
Beautiful. Well,
Beautiful,
I believe
beautiful,
we've
beautiful.
yeah, I believe we have come to the end of this evening's program. Thank you for
And it
joining
was
me, Jerry.
fantastic.
Yes.
Oh my God, Steph, always. It was a great combination today. These two different
Six
musicals.
terrific songs from two interesting new shows that perhaps New York will be part of when everything comes back to normal. Hopefully
Indeed.
things will eventually come back to normal. You're getting closer.
Yes.
We have a few thank yous we need to shout out. Thank you to tonight's writers and their performers. The writers again are AJ Freeman, Dimitri Landrain, Creighton Irons, and Douglas Lyons. Look them all up; you won't be disappointed. Thank you to Benjamin Sperling, our terrific intern, who's been running all the back end and stage management type of stuff.
Thank you, Ben.
For us. Thank you. We think you're awesome, Ben. And thank you again for this series is made possible by generous gifts from Joan Ross Sorkin and the Virginia Strelson Foundation. So thank you to both of them for helping to make this all possible. Did I miss anybody, Jerry?
No, I think that's all. You know, the staff, of course, at New York is always.
Yeah, the staff of New York. I can take them or leave them.
That's yeah, that's good. That's a good way to end.
Yes, I think that's about it. So I'm going to go have some leftover Thai food.
All right, I'm going to have my tequila. Bye.
Excellent.
See you next time.
Bye.